you one of the lucky enough to go ahead and get one of these kits, then go ahead and pull your kit out. And inside of there, you should have everything for the most part is labeled. CP is cocoa powder, VIN, VIN is vinegar, BS is baking soda, and then you've got oil. Red is your red food coloring. Now, if you wanted to do a red velvet cake naturally, you could use things like beet juice, or you could do raspberry puree that you strain and get all the seeds out. But all those things will add flavor to your cake. It might be minute, but there still can be a little bit of flavor to that. Or as I was researching, red velvet cake originally was an unprocessed cocoa powder, and that unprocessed cocoa powder was more red than some of the dark brown that we get nowadays. And it was a Dutch cocoa powder. So if you can get your hands on one of those red cocoa powders, you can actually have a traditional one where you don't add any red coloring at all whatsoever. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with all of our dry ingredients here, and we're going to mix them in. So we got our flour, we've got our sugar, got our baking soda, all right, and we've got our cocoa powder. Okay, and then what we're going to do, we're going to mix that together. And I just do this so that way it gets everything mixed together. You don't got to worry about the cocoa not mixing in well enough with everything. Helps kind of not get some of that those lumps that'll happen when you add everything together. All right, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add all of our liquids. So we've got our oil, we got our vinegar, and it's only 1/8 of a teaspoon of vinegar. So for those of you that are like, we're adding vinegar to this? Yep. And the vinegar takes a chemical reaction with the buttermilk, and with that unprocessed cocoa I was telling you about, that's what actually turns the cake more red, because it takes that naturally reddish brown color from the cocoa and makes it more intense. That was our milk, and then last but not least is our red food coloring, just so that we can have some nice red color in there. Alright, and then we go ahead and we mix all this together. And what we want is a nice smooth batter. So when I kind of scrape the bottom a little bit, just make sure you don't have any flour still stuck in the bottom. I want to make sure you get that all mixed together. So, and if you notice, we're just using forks for this. You can use a spoon. If you got a small whisk, you could use that. It's just what you have, okay? Then, what we've got is our chocolate ganache, okay? So this is the secret to our lava cake. So it is just a little nugget of chocolate mixed with a little bit of heavy cream. And we've got 2 of them. If you had more and wanted to add more, I don't think it'd be much of a problem. So you try and keep it as close to the top as you can, okay? And the reason for that is that when the cake starts to bake, it'll sink to the bottom. So you want it to stay up high so that it's more in the middle of the cake. So more in the middle of the cake when it bakes. All right, and this should be about 1:10 on that, and we will have a nice red velvet lava cake. And I've got a little whipped cream to top this with. If you wanted to be daring and make a white chocolate sauce, or you could do a marshmallow sauce, any kind of sauce that you would like to top it off with, you could, and make it really, really good. Or if you want to serve it with a scoop of ice cream, whipped topping. I believe we sent whipped topping with all of these, just to keep it nice and flavorful. And then also, you could also use dark chocolate if you want to try and have some sort of health benefit from this. Dark chocolate can be heart healthy, so if you take dark chocolate, that can help you out. And, or if you like dark chocolate just because you like the taste of it, that can also be good. So, all right, so we got about 15 seconds left, and then we will get to see the fruits of our labor.
I'm just going to show on this one here, I got a messy side of the mug, but you really see the cakiness now as that sat. You want now that, remember these cakes are best eaten warm, but that really caked up nice. Wow, it's really still hot. And there's marks come
There's
out.
red velvet.
I don't know if I can show the cakiness of that. Beautiful. Oh.
So that is our red velvet, and what we want to see. Let's see. Let me get some here. We'll flip it out of the mug so that we can see that lava-filled center.
Right, and eating them, they really don't recommend. He's going to flip it just so you can see how it is. But they say these are best, mug cakes are best enjoyed in the mug.
Absolutely.
But more, this is just to show how good the cake bakes up. And look at that chocolate center he got going there.
Yeah.
Whoops, I'm moving you a little closer.
So, as you can see, I don't know how well you can see there, but you can see the nice chocolatey, liquidy center right there. Yeah. So, and as you can see, even though I just barely put that under the top layer of the cake batter, it went ahead and it sunk almost all the way to the bottom of the cake. So that's why if you want, you can make up more of these. They're just heavy cream and chocolate. You do like a cup of chocolate chips and you do a half a cup of heavy cream, and you can make a whole bunch of these. You can freeze them in your ice trays, ice cube trays, or different ways of doing it. And then when you want one, you just plop it out. So you can take these and melt it down if you want more chocolate. Pour that over top, and it's delicious. So thank you all for being with me. I'm going to pass the torch over to Lisa, who's going to make